What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. Before we get into the TA, please leave a like on the video. And if you are new here, just know that my guarantee to you is that you will find continuous insights here on this channel that you will not find across the interwebs. With that being said, let's get into it. All right, guys. So the first thing I'm going to bring to your attention, we do have an ever so slight bearish divergence on the daily RSI. So not only do we have that little one, but we also have this big one that I told you guys I just didn't think was going to be burned, and it just didn't get burned. All right. So this RSI over here was at 73.76, that point on the RSI, and this one was at 72.93. That is why I came on here and I said, I don't care how stupid I look. I'm just going to ring my bell. I'm saying like, hey, all right, I don't really care. I'm pretty sure we're right next to a top over here. So I'm going to tell you guys right now. All right. We don't have to be topping right now. Like, this doesn't have to be the top, but I'm going to make a call here. All right. This is either going to be the top, or we're about to have a decent sized pullback before going up and then making our top. All right. So we could push on up here to 348.50. I just say it does not make sense to do it from right here. All right. I think you were definitely going to, well, not obviously nothing's 100%. That's just how technical analysis works. All right, guys, we 100% are only dealing with probabilities, and if you think it's anything more, then you're wrong. And you're definitely going to be disappointed time and time again over time. That's just how that's going to go. But yeah, guys, you do have, now you effectively have a triple bearish divergence. But regardless of that, you do have this little one over there. So thought that is something I'd bring up. Now, since I do hold the opinion that I just spoke about, I do not think we're really going to be going much higher from here without that decent sized pullback. Now, we can go on up, but if you inch on up over 338.90, all it's going to do is put in a bearish divergence on your 4-hour RSI, which I was telling you guys back over here. All right. I think it was literally somewhere, it was right before this massive push. It was like we were just over here. I was saying that the RSI, the 4-hour RSI, just was not going on up into, or maybe it was over here. I don't know. It was somewhere where this RSI, oh, it was right here. It was literally right here. The 4-hour RSI did not go on into overbought territory. I was saying like, hey, this is just typically what we see at these tops, all right? We see the 4-hour RSI either form a bearish divergence, or it's at least going to, you know, come on up and hit its head on overbought territory up here. All right. Well, now we do have that condition. Now, another thing I was watching for over here, Apple. All right, so this is actually something a little conflicting right here. So maybe we do end up getting a little bounce. All right, you come over here on the hourly time frame, and Apple's like, you know, it's you know, your oscillators over here are saying you still got some room to run, but your RSI did get that bounce that we were looking for as well. All right, so I'm going to tell you guys right now. All right, I don't think you're going to keep going on up without having this decent sized pullback. And I'm going to go over like how big can this pullback be. Let's go over my scenarios right now. All right, I don't want to make this video long. Just want to get this info out to you guys. All right, so these are the scenarios I'm really watching for. All right, here's number one. Go like that. All right, here's number two. You come down here, go up here. All right, that would probably put in a divergent high right there. And that's what I speak of. This is the decent pullback right there. There's your going on up. There's your divergent high. You're going to come down and you're going to break down from this rising wedge. All right, so those are two scenarios right there. Scenario number three, we come down here. And also, guys, by the way, I want to watch this. I'm keeping my eye on this AEMA over here. All right, this is just something that, hey, you don't usually get too far away from it without retracing to it. All right, so like, guys, if you're in shorts and you open them up on this day, all right, and you're sitting here panicking, just realize like, hey, yeah, you're very likely at least going to get that pullback. And, you know, the pullback's going to probably be anywhere from 330 to, yeah, 332-ish over here. Or you can just flip the August high, all right? That's why I say these are two of those scenarios right here. All right, we're going to have to see what happens at the August high. Like, do you flip it or do you not? We're going to have to see a buyer step up. Like, so far over here, you have buyers stepping up at 418.31. That is what I was saying. Like, hey, you don't want to be losing that. You start losing that, you start coming back into the range. That means that this was not a strong move. All right, and then, like, guys, we, like, not only do we have the rising wedge over there on QQ, but you also have a pretty sick, nasty looking one over here on SPY, which I'll just say, guys, the wedges are crazy. All right, this is by far, this is the most common pattern that I see just form across the board continuously, is the rising and falling wedges. All right, you have this massive rising wedge that had a price target all the way down here at 348. And guess what? You broke out and you came back and back tested the rising wedge, and in doing so, you formed another rising wedge. So, yeah, I mean, this is definitely the most common pattern that I see in TA across the board all the time. So it's something you better get used to. And typically these things do tend to break down. They don't have to completely play out. All right, as you see, all right, this is one of the targets. We did hit target number 1, which I believe is somewhere over here. I think it was like 390-ish. Around there. You can go back to the videos if you really would like. Go back to a date before we broke out, though. That's when we put it on the board. But yeah, we did have a second target down here, and I do think that is going to be hit. But I do think it's going to take some time. As you see, we literally came back up and broke above this high. So, you know, I'm putting that target to the side there. But yeah, we very likely are going to see this one break to the downside. They don't have to always break the downside. They just do, you know, more often than not, these rising wedges here. And we are right here at the top here as your 4-hour RSI is up in overbought territory. Now, I'm actually also going to point out SPX's 4-hour RSI is getting up there as well. And you actually do have a triple bearish divergence going on up here. You have a triple bearish. You have a bearish divergence going on from this point over here to here. You know, continue to make these higher highs over there. I haven't been watching SPX too much. I've been getting all the info that I have needed from SPY, QQQ, ES, and NQ recently. And then actually VIX over here. VIX did come down and fill the 16. I think it was, what was it, 1621 from all the way back over here? Somewhere over there. All right. I think this was the gap fill right there. Yeah, it's somewhere over there. But you did fill this, and you actually did leave a new gap this morning. So I'm looking for that to be filled, which if that's going to be filled, that means that, you know, indices are probably going to be rallying as this thing comes down. All right. But yeah, as of right now, guys, I mean, you know, there's not too much that has changed here. We're kind of just waiting up here. We're just kind of grinding out. And I told you guys, like, hey, all right, I'm going to be watching this range over here in SPY and ES. All right, you start to lose 418.31. That is when I think we're probably going to be making our way back down here into this range. And that is going to signify that, hey, that wasn't the strongest move. All right. But regardless, over here on QQ, guys, I mean, I'm looking for that pullback. You have that 8 EMA I was just bringing up. That is all the way down at just about 332, 331.84 right now. And that's $6 below. All right, this $6 is going to do a lot to your contract. So if you're going to panic sell up here, I'm just going to suggest, obviously no financial advice is to be taken from this channel. Everything here is 100% speculation. Everything's my opinion. But hey, all right, if you're, you know, sitting there crapping your pants up here, just realize you are very likely to get this pullback. And now we have another point of divergence on the daily time frame here, also suggesting that. Now, also something that hasn't happened yet, you actually you stalled at the exact low of day from Friday. But, you know, I don't really know if we can take this as hey, the sellers got their way. But yeah, we had increasing sell volume on Friday, which suggests that sellers are going to get the way come Monday. Today is Monday. We did have the increasing weekly buy volume. So that does suggest that buyers are also going to be getting their way this week with either a gap up or they're going to be getting a move over last week's highs. So we got, you know, volumes telling us two things that could be happening. We're like looking for a move over this high over here, the high of 420.72, and then we're also looking for today a move, which that's what I'm saying. I don't know if does this you know, does this satisfy this condition? I got no idea. We moved to the exact low of day. It was 417.35. So either way, we haven't moved under there, so I am looking for you to move under there. Maybe we start the week going down and then we finish the week rallying up. But I'm going to reiterate what I said in my weekly update. Guys, we got a window here because we just had the monthly Opex, and now the derivatives market is not going to have this lasso, this control over, you know, the equity market. So you have a bunch of open interest on the June 16 monthly Opex. That's the next one. Then you're going to have the quarterly Opex after that. So, hey, you guys saw what just happened. Like this move, we were talking about, just all these hedges being unwound. You had you had the trifecta setup going on. You had a long setup, short setup, short squeeze setup, and you had the reverse gamma squeeze. And then, hey, you had the calls that people were probably loading the calls. I wasn't watching too closely, but I imagine a lot of people were loading up calls. All right, with shorter expirations. Guess what? You add a gamma squeeze to the mix. So, like, not only a trifecta, you had like a quadruple fecta. Quadrifecta. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, if you think this move was if you think this was caused by anything else other than exactly what I just went over, like, nah, you're wrong. I'm sorry. Like, this is what we were preparing for down here. They pushed it right into, literally up into the Opex. Normally, over here, you saw it. They trade you flat and they started finally sending you down 2 days into the Opex. Here, no, they went for the max pain scenario. Let's just literally kill all of the puts. And again, this move in this environment let's really just think about it. What would cause this move? You don't have any fundamental reasons to be going crazy here. You really do not. You had the the debt ceiling thing that was going on. And then Biden came out, and that's what caused this breakout here. And you shot straight up to 415 from 413 or 412 from down there. So there was that. That was the news catalyst that ended up giving that boost. But in reality, guys, no, the talks. I hear that they're not going too well, but I haven't seen anything really. Like, there's no agreements that has been had yet. So this movement is 100%. It's speculation. And I'm going to tell you right now, 100%, it would not have happened if you did not have the derivatives market set up the way it was going into that Opex. It just wouldn't have happened. But yeah, guys, now you're going to have these 1 to 2 weeks here where the dealers they're not, they're going to let the market move how it needs to move. All right. Or not needs to move, but what I was saying, we don't have price discovery. We literally just have not had, like a lot of, look at this. All right. We are range bound for like 50 days. This is exactly long story short, Henry's long story short. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Why were we range bound? Okay. You've had everyone just betting very short. Okay. Everyone's been betting short for quite some time. When you're loading up that put open interest, you get close enough to these monthly OPEXs, the dealer's not going to be sitting there paying out all of these puts unless you have a black swan catalyst to force that panic selling, and then there you go. But yeah, all right, guys, a bunch of puts just went, worthless, and then, followed by this big move up. Sure, across the board, I'm positive. Yeah, every single put premium just got demolished. That was the thing. And very positive, you probably have a bunch of people loading up on calls. And now you have this thing at 70. Guys, this is like, when you're up here, this is what marks the tops. You don't want to be going along into this when you also have QQ's RSI up here above 70. This is literally the exact opposite of what you want to do. All right, SPY's RSI was all the way down here. Well, guess what? That was when you were at 380, and now you're at 420. Now it's almost at the top. It's not what you want to do. All right. Another thing is obviously DXY. It's still broken out, guys. It's like the move is likely started. All right. This is what I was saying. Like, hey, when you see DXY break out from this is very likely going to lead to that next move lower, or at least we are going to, we're going to stop trading flat here. And then on top of this, I'm going to come over here and point this out. You did have VIX starting to heat back up here. Oh, there we go. Come on, X that out. All right, let's actually, hang on. You do have volatility still being sold here. And like I said, you do have that gap over here. So that's what I'm waiting. But after that, guys, VIX is going to be free. And hey, if we do end up seeing this 4-hour RSI get all the way down over to oversold territory down here, this is where I'm going to be saying, hey, all right, you're likely about to start seeing indices fall. You're likely about to see the VIX start to rise. This is just where, where it tends to bounce. All right, over here when you get into oversold territory on your 4-hour RSI. All right, we were getting down into there. You actually had this hourly bullish diverge going on over here on your CCI. You had a triple, I believe. Yeah. Regardless, guys, all right, I'm waiting for this gap to fill. And without it filled, I'm going to be skeptical of any downside over here on the indices. So I'd like to, I really would like that to fill right now. What I was really hoping for is we started moving above last week's high intraday today. We just stopped short of it, so I don't know when that condition would be met. But I mean, it also doesn't even have to be met. I mean, there are weeks where you have increasing buy volume where you don't go on up to you know, carry on up for another high. Like that was what marked this high right here. You had increasing buy volume. Boom. You didn't go up on that high the next week. You just didn't do it. So it doesn't have to happen is what I'm getting at. It does not, but it's still, these are boxes that I would like to check in order to really safely play a move to the downside. But regardless, guys, I do want to say right now, I 100% do believe, my opinion right now is that the next big move is going to be the downside. It's going to be that big sell we've been talking about. And I think this kind of, regardless of these technicals, I think this is really telling you that, all right? You guys don't have a bunch of QE going on right now. All right, so like, you know, after, you know, the COVID 2020 market crash over there, how the market just kept going straight up, right? People can reference this stuff, but like, hey, we're not in the same environment. We're under different conditions now, and yeah, I'm just gonna say it right now. I'm pretty sure we're right at the top. All right. Last thing I'm gonna bring up right here is that we do have a crap ton of Fed speakers and catalysts this week, so we definitely do have a lot to move down off of. If you know you want to put a catalyst to this, all this gasoline we got on the charts, we will see. All right, we will see. But you do have a crap ton of Fed speakers, and then we do have the FOMC minutes over here. All right, so that is on Wednesday, and then I think I saw, yeah, so we have PCE on Friday. So that is the Fed's favorite inflationary indicator. So we're gonna have to see what that says, and then obviously GDP, that could, you know, that could move markets. There you go. All right, give you a trending move on Thursday. But yeah, guys, that is about it. With that being said, I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace.